Hey, everybody. We are doing a breaking news Project Next Get the Word Out live because some of us just got emails saying that Jennifer McCormick is no longer running for Indiana Democratic State Chair. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but that was pretty shocking to all of us. So I just texted Scott Aaron Rogers, my co-host here, and he's like, sure, let's do this. So thank you, Scott. What did you think when you heard the news?
Yeah, well, I was surprised, to be honest. But that said, she was always sort of like half in, half out, kind of like the toe was in the water. She never like officially announced, I think, that she was running for state chair. It was sort of exploratory. I don't know. Do you know what the rules are on that? Like, when do
I
you have
just
to
it
say
says
you're
it
in
in
for
the
sure?
yeah, so pull up your email and let's read the official email that people were sending to me. I didn't get it. You had it, but you hadn't noticed it yet. So pull that up and read that, and then that tells what your question is. It answers it in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna actually okay. Sorry, old man eyes here. I gotta squint. All right. Greetings, Democratic Party leadership. I once again want to thank you for your leadership, support, and commitment to the party, Hoosiers, your community, and our great state. As many know, I was considering a run for the Indiana Democratic State Party chair position. As true during the campaign, I have learned a lot about the process, the traditions of the Indiana Democratic Party, the challenges and opportunities ahead. To that end, I have decided to not submit my formal email of intent to be considered by the State Central Committee. Please know, I will continue to fight for Hoosiers and the values many of us hold dear. My fight will just be in a different capacity. Indiana and our nation face many challenges over these next several years. As Democrats, our job remains to insist our elected officials follow the law and do what's best for all Hoosiers, resist the temptation to sit out or tune out, and persist in being a voice for the marginalized by speaking truth to power. As always, let's go, Jennifer.
Thanks for reading that. So it sounds like she did not officially put her name in, and the deadline was coming up, and she decided not to do it. And we were all assuming we had the four candidates: Jennifer McCormick with Destiny
Mm-hmm.
Wells, Karen Talion, Derek Camp. And so the election's coming up. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Last Saturday, March 1st, a lot of the state of Indiana in each county elected a Democratic chair for the county. So we elected in Harrison County Cheryl Lone, who was our vice chair, now she's chair, and then Nate Adams is our vice chair, and he's been with the party for a while, and he's our election board member. Um, so so we elected our county chair. Now Cheryl and Nate this coming Saturday will
Mm-hmm.
go, I think it's in Scott County, I think, for District 9. They will go and be people that get to vote for who's going to be District 9 chair. So
Right.
now on Saturday, we've got 9 districts, and we're going to get its elections for Democratic district chair. So there's going to be 9 ones, and quite a few of them are going to be new. I think ours is going to be Adam Dickey still, but I think our vice chair is going to change. And then the district chairs, the vice chairs, central committee, and a few other people, totaling 33 people, will get to
Mm-hmm.
vote the next week for Indiana State Democratic chair, which now it looks like we have 3 candidates instead of 4. So
Well, I think it's actually 4 instead of 5.
who's the other
We
person?
did have a late entrant. His name is, I want to say, Darren Washington. Yeah, there we are. He is a city councilman from Gary. Long shot, long shot.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of him. So I didn't even know there was another one. So there is another one. If if we know that he'll file the paperwork or whatever. I guess we'll know soon. I guess we'll know soon for sure officially. I know Destiny Wells is definitely in this. I just
Yes,
messaged with her.
absolutely.
She's definitely in this. Um, this has been interesting. Like, we've been interviewing people. Scott, you were there. We interviewed 3 of them, Jennifer, Destiny, and Karen. And then
Hmm.
and then I had another show, an hour and a half show with Destiny. And then I had with Tim and I did a show with Derek Camp. And that was the first time I'd ever met Derek. So it's been really interesting to be this involved for me to get to talk personally and ask questions to them. And I definitely, after doing that, have my own thoughts.
Well, would you like to share them?
Yes. So this is not Project Next. This is Sarah Blessing opinion. I'm going to go ahead and tell you who I am endorsing for chair and why. Terry just said thoughts on camp. I'm going to get to that. Thank you, Terry. That is a good question because I didn't know him. And then I spent a little over an hour with him on that interview.
Yeah, well, actually, what do you want to talk about your interview with Derek a little bit before you make
Sure. You
your
guys can
statement?
see
Because
that.
I didn't
We,
get a chance to hear that
sure.
conversation, so
Yeah.
I'm interested.
We
Yeah,
pumped out a lot of episodes last week. It's okay if you didn't get to watch them all.
yeah,
but
you and Tim were crushing it. Absolutely.
So last Friday, we did an episode with him. So you can go back and check it if you want. But I asked him some pretty tough questions at the beginning. I asked him questions about gatekeeping.
Yeah,
What were his thoughts about how we keep hearing about great volunteers trying to get involved in their county party and being told no, or organizations going to the central party, the state party, and asking for a seat at the table and being told no. And his answer was very smart and thoughtful and laid out. But after I thought about it for a long time, he supports gatekeeping. He totally supports, the chair, the county, um, stopping someone from running, which we just had our good friend Corinne Straight, our co-host Corinne Straight, was told no, she was not allowed to run for Elkhart Democrat
yeah,
chair, or she could have been vice, or she could have been given a seat at the table and really helped use her influence and her
yeah.
genius and her, we know she's got talent. And she was just flat out told no, don't come here. And she's pretty amazing about it. She still said, I'm going to
Yeah.
still help them and do whatever I can.
Yeah, oh, that she's definitely, yeah, taking the high road
Yeah.
about it.
And I'm really
But
proud of
and
her for that. But then,
technically by the rule, like, by the book, like, yeah, she pulled that Republican ballot to have an influence on that race, and
but
other
she's one
people
of the
did it, and that was
most clear
y-
Democrats we know. Get on
yeah,
her TikTok, look at her
it's
videos.
a stupid rule. It's a
We
stupid
see,
rule.
you don't have to follow it. You write a letter and you get
Right.
out of it. I could have been gatekept from running. I could have been prevented from running state house. Tim Peck could have been prevented from running for Congress because he was an independent. And we were not stopped down here. And I want to call out and thank Adam Dickey, who is our district chair and will probably be ours again. He never tried to stop us. He only tried to help us. That is
Yeah.
what I want to see. So with Derek Camp, I have no ill will towards him and I appreciate all he's done. But I believe we need someone at the table that's going to be welcoming because, again, my daughter doesn't have health care rights. My children's schools are being dismantled. Public education, they're trying to destroy it in Indiana. We don't have time for gatekeeping. We have got
Yeah.
to welcome people, organize, get so many of us on the ballot, get out there, door knock, do all we can to save all Hoosiers. And we can't be saying, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. We can't be doing that.
It is not time for wait your turn. It is all hands on deck.
So with that in mind, you were there for the episode with the 3 women. Karen Talion also seems to be in favor of gatekeeping based on her answers of saying she had gatekeeping, others should too. Like, why should they get it
I'll tell you
easy?
something. So last night I did a live stream for Trump's address to Congress.
You guys can see that
And
on Who's Left on his show. Yes.
thank you, Sarah. Thanks for the pitch. That's at who'sleft.us, and also on YouTube and Twitch and the places. But I talked to Brandon last night. Brandon, like I, is a leftist. We come from the sort of social democratic tradition, and she's District 1 up that way. Brandon's in Lake County. And he said, you know, maybe that's not her, like, you know, that's not her politics, but she never got in the way.
So that is nice to hear.
I will say, yeah, I didn't know that, and that's internal stuff up in that area.
About Karen. I haven't heard anything bad about Karen.
She's been an important voice in Indiana politics for a long time, and she was always kind of, you know, agitating from the left in her way in the Senate, especially for cannabis reform in Indiana.
That's great. Yeah.
But then I also told Brandon last night, look, I appreciate everything she's done, the fight she's fought for this state in all her years. It's time for a new generation to lead.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's in her 70s, and I appreciate everything she's done. She seems wonderful. It's the fact that we have this other choice. We have Destiny Wells, who is 41, who is very fit and healthy. She's very mentally fit. She's very physically fit. She's very driven, and she has proven her talent. She's ran for 2 races. She's a lawyer. She's in the military. She's been in the military since she was like 19, I think, or 18, since she was a teenager. Yeah. She has the talent. Also, she was welcomed into the table, and she saw at the Indiana Democratic State Party, she was welcomed by Mike Schmuhl, and I thank Mike for doing that. That was very awesome of him. And she saw what needed to change, and she sort of addressed it. And then she sort of got a little bit attacked for addressing it. And we just don't have time for that. We don't have time for bullying or gossip or pettiness. We have got to save Indiana now. We need to do it now. We also have the volunteers here. Has anybody been paying attention online? Try out TikTok. Meet some Indiana Democrats on TikTok, you all. There's thousands and thousands of us, and we are ready to help. And Destiny uses social media very well. And she's also just like willing to talk to anybody. She's so brave. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if you thought something mean about her. She doesn't care if you thought some fake gossip thing that turned out to be not true. She's not going to hold it against you. She's like, let's work together and save Indiana. And I really, really respect that. It reminds me of Corinne, who's taken the high road here when she had gatekeeping. She's just like, let's keep saving Indiana. We're all on the same side. Let's do this. And that's how Destiny is. I've talked to her privately. We've talked on the show. She just wants to work with anybody that wants to stop the extremism in Indiana. And you don't need to be a Democrat to do that. You just need to be somebody paying attention that recognizes what's going on in our schools and our communities is hurting all of us.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's who I'm recommending. Do you want to recommend anybody? Because it's totally up to you.
Well, I will say that I'm not going to say anything before I've had a chance to listen to that conversation with Derek.
Okay.
Because I don't know enough about him, but I do like Destiny a lot, and I like that. I think she understands the importance of the moment that we're in. It's not time for cliquey high school drama.
Let's drop the drama. Let's stop the drama. We do not have time.
Yeah, we're like watching an extremist movement take over our country at the national level and at the state level. And we can't just wave our little signs and say, that's enough. It's time to stand up and make people uncomfortable.
Yes. And to shine a
Um,
light on anybody in power, regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Like we were talking to Jesse Brown, we both talked to him on our shows, who's
I
a
adore
Indianapolis
Jesse.
city
Yeah,
councilor. And he's a Democrat and he's kind of sometimes being hurt by other Democrats. Well, we need to shine a light on that and encourage them to help him. We need we need the people that are doers, that are brave and
yeah,
moral on all political parties getting into positions of power and making laws and decisions that help all of us instead of hurt us. And I don't have time for the gossip. I don't have time for the bullying. I'm
yeah.
also getting very upset because some of these people are my friends and it hurts their mental health when they're attacked. So please just drop it if you're listening to this and you're somehow involved in the Indiana State Party. Please drop all the pettiness, drop the gossip, drop the lies, and let's focus on saving the state. I do want to talk about Jennifer McCormick for a minute. I love her so much. I adore her. I am so thankful she stepped up and ran for governor. I really hope she runs again. I personally am glad she's stepping down from this because I want her focused on the governor race in 4 years
Hmm.
and helping to set up, whoever is chair. I hope she works with them and I know I imagine she will. And just let's organize, let's get this going and let's get her as governor in 4 years. That's
I like Jennifer McCormick a lot.
I
Yeah,
like her
and
so
she's
much.
always been really generous with her time with me, and when she didn't have to, when I was first starting this thing, and I,
That's right.
wasn't
She
really
was on an
anybody,
episode really early.
and yeah, and she's always been generous with her time, and her politics aren't my politics. She's a centrist. I'm a leftist. She could just say, yeah, I'm not going to go talk to that. What were the radical left lunatics. Um, she didn't have to, and she does, and she's very pragmatic and very thoughtful and
She's
just
very
very good
smart.
at the nuts and bolts
She's a
of
genius. She's
yeah,
very smart. She knows so much about education and she has what it takes to save our public schools. I want her leading that. I want her teaching me and everybody else what do we need to do to fix this. Um I have yet to meet someone that knows more about public education in Indiana and the laws and everything that's going on. I cannot be thankful. I'm just so thankful for her. I'm sorry that she stepped down. I think she would have done a great job, but I just hope she stays in this, stays in the fight, helps whoever wins. And whoever does win, I'm going to welcome them on the show when they want to motivate. And because I'm all about helping people, making lives better, getting people involved in their communities. So, regardless of who wins, but I know that I'm going to be asking Adam Dickey and whoever is vice,
yeah,
I'm going to be asking them to vote for Destiny. In my opinion, she's the best candidate. The other thing that I don't see where words match with action with Derek Camp at his episode was I asked him about using social media to communicate to us in Indiana because there's a lot of it's very secretive what's going on in the Indiana State Democratic Party. I think they could
yeah,
they could do better with their messaging and they could also be more open and honest with their messaging. And I asked him about that and he was all for it. He was like, I'm all for using social media for messaging. But when I look on his own social media, I'm not seeing it. But if you look at
yeah.
Destiny is like, we need to stop gatekeeping. We need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And we need to
She's
hold
out there. She's
people.
talking to the people. She's meeting people where they're at.
And
Yep.
and this means so much to me. And I imagine it
Yeah.
means a lot to all women. She uses her social media platform to say, I support the many women that have come out and said they were sexually assaulted by this politician. And I think we need better systems in place so that
Yeah.
we support our most vulnerable people and that the people that have the power in the Democratic Party, we are doing something to hold them accountable. And it was just crickets from a lot of other people. I know some others have come forward, but that meant to me a lot. And that shows some real bravery there because there are certain Indiana Democratic traditions and peoples and emails where they're pumping out messaging with people where we are having so many people come forward and say they've been abused by them. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of want to throw up about it.
Yeah, it's been gross to see the circle in the wagons around some of our not our best people.
You might have been able to do that a few years ago, but with social media now, we can all openly say this person in power appears to be misusing their power and harming others. We can
Yeah.
all say that and learn that. It doesn't look good on the Indiana Democratic Party when they show favors to these people that are hurting. And it just shows, well, I don't think these people are brave if they're not going to stand up for what's right. If you're going to run on the Democratic platform, we're here saying we're moral, we care about everybody.
We
And then
have standards. Yeah.
we have standards. Well, we want to see the standards, and I think the standards need work. Destiny wants to get the guidebook, get the rules, and tighten them up and fix them. Allow for more allow for less gatekeeping, and make some systems in place to protect people from abuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
Absolutely.
closing thoughts? Because boy, what a night, huh?
Yeah, it's so Dr. McCormick, I believe, said she is not going to endorse,
Okay.
right? So, or she hasn't.
Or she hasn't. She has not endorsed
She
anybody.
she is not endorsing anybody in dropping out. So, we don't know if she plans to endorse. Certainly, the other candidates would probably love to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that there are calls being made and texts being sent, and Jennifer McCormick will probably be very popular for the next 10 to 10 days or so.
Right. Yeah. What can we do? Those of you watching that live in Indiana that really want our state government to be better and more representative of us, we can do a lot. Find out who your county chair is. We just had elections. Find out who they
Yep.
are, contact them. If you can't find it, you can literally message us here and we will help you track it down. We will help you find
Yeah.
who your county chair is, how to get a hold of them, and then let them know who you want. Wait next Saturday. On Saturday, we're going to find out who the district chairs are and the
Yeah.
vice chairs. They actually get to vote. So that's probably going to be the most intense week this Saturday up until the next Saturday with elections. That's going to be the most people calling, trying to say, we think you should vote for it for this person. And I just want the people to be the ones that have the power here and not the ones that are already in power. I want them to feel it from all of us. We outnumber the 33 people that get to vote. I think we're the more important ones. We're the ones that elect those 33 people. When they go to vote, it just counts as one vote like us. But when we come out in numbers, that's how we win elections. So we need all of us at the table here saving Indiana.
Pressure from the bottom up.
Pressure from the bottom up. Adam Dickey told Tim Peck himself, he said, I want to feel the pressure. He said, I want to know who everybody wants me to vote for. And I like that. That's what all of them should be doing.
That is what it is supposed to be. That is what elected office is supposed to be.
My feelings for Adam Dickey are so complex because he's a busy guy. But after finding out more of what's going on in the whole state, I just feel very thankful that he's the person with the power in my district. Because like I said, I'm not seeing him gatekeeping. I am seeing him helping. He's busy, but he's doing all he can to save the state. So I'm just thankful for that. And I hope everybody else feels like their district chair is doing that too. And if not, let them know because they work for us. And then whoever wins chair gets a decent salary. Did you know that?
I not. I didn't know it was actually a paid position. I thought it was
unpaid. I think it's around $170,000 a year.
It should be a full-time position, and that's not an unreasonable number.
I agree.
They should be running their ass all around the state for their entire term.
And I don't think they should have another job. I don't think they should have another job. So this helps them. This should be their job. doing this.
Yes.
So yeah, so there are some paid positions and chairs, one of them, and I was unaware of that until last week whenever I brought it up with Derek Camp, and
Yeah.
then somebody on the live watching said no, they get paid.
Yeah, I know it.
So
I know it was not Mike Schmuel's only job.
it's interesting.
So say,
I get it.
just
Yeah,
putting that out there. Say what you will
I'm
about
not
that.
judging, but I hope it's their only job. And boy, I'm feeling the pressure, but I'm very surprised by tonight's news. And I'm just very thankful for Jennifer McCormick. And I hope everybody is putting pressure on the people that do get to vote. Oh, yeah, I think I forgot to mention this. The county chairs get to vote for the district chairs. Did I say that? So this
Yeah, yeah,
Saturday,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
whoever.
talk to your
So
county
that's why
chairs.
you want to
Give them your thoughts. Yeah.
give them your thoughts, then find out who the district chair is if you can. Email them, call them, message them, do that. Let them feel the pressure of the people so that we can help save our state. I'm never going to stop fighting for my daughter's right for healthcare ever until we get it back, and then I'm going to fight for something else. And then
Right.
we have our governor signing executive orders to hurt people, hurt trans people, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, I would like some bills passed to help people instead of persecuting whoever they're naming the boogeyman at the moment. I would really
Yeah.
like things to help people instead of harming. And I'm so upset at the people spreading false fears because it leads to hate, which can lead to violence for groups of people that are already marginalized and already vulnerable and hurt. And like we have a friend of ours that's moving out of Indiana because she doesn't feel safe. So it,
Yeah.
let's
It's
work
really
to
unfortunate.
yeah. And then I'm also keep running into former teachers. I keep running into former teachers that got out because it's so hard to stay as a teacher in Indiana, especially a public school teacher. And I'm like, we need these
Eh,
people, but we've got to
Yeah.
treat them better. No. So
It's so depressing. Yeah.
but we can do it. Let's elect a good Dem state chair. We're going to get
All
these
right.
new district chairs. Let's get to work. Let's organize. Don't give up hope.
Yeah.
It's rough, but we're going to keep helping you. Yeah. Sorry
Yeah.
to keep you on
And there's
long.
my and no, that's my final words tonight is that, we're talking about who we're electing to lead, but we're not electing them to rule, right? So that we don't want our next party chair to dictate the direction of the party. This moment still calls for all of us to mobilize and do everything we can, whether it's to protest somewhere, to show up. There is a women's march at the State House this Saturday, the 8th. Just putting that out there.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to see if we can't go, make a day of it, and see if we can't meet some of you there.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter who wins as chair if we all don't get involved and help. We have to get involved and help to save our state. We all have to do it. Those of you that mentally can't or whatever, they can't do it, that's fine. But if you can donate some time, if you're listening to this show, you probably are invested and can help in some way,
There's something for everybody to do.
Yeah. And we can help try to find that, but there's lots of great places. There's lots of great organizations in Indiana that are helping. You can get involved in your county party. There's lots of places, but we're going to need everybody to save the state, and we're going to need Jennifer McCormick. So I hope she says she's still going to keep doing stuff for us. So thank you, Jennifer
Yeah.
McCormick. We love you. We're so appreciative of you. And stay tuned. Let's see what happens the next couple weeks, right, guys?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have an episode after everything is done so we can kind of go over what happened,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely a recap. Let's put that on the calendar now for
I
sure.
kind of want you to be in charge of that because you're the intelligent person that gets all of the facts. It's like this person is chair now, and here's the vice, and here's what we can do, and here's this. So let me know if you want to run with that.
I'd be glad to help.
Yeah.
Anytime. Anything for you, Sarah? Anything for Project Next? Love you guys.
Oh, let's see. One quick question from Terry that I just saw. Do you think Indiana would benefit from minor parties starting chapters here, like the Working Families Party? Do you know what that is?
I do. I've taken the Working Families Party pledge. They work great in New York because of the way New York election law works. In Indiana, I think, working in tandem with the Democratic Party, great. But I've done entire episodes on why, as frustrating it is, we have to work through the Democratic Party. It's just the nature of the way our elections are in this country, with the winner take all.
Unless we change to some sort of system, yeah. And what's that system
which we
called?
should do, yes. But
what's that
until
called?
then,
second choice voting. What is
ranked
it called?
choice voting.
Ranked choice
yeah,
voting.
and there's other ways to do it too. I definitely
but
think.
Until we do
that's something we could do inside the party.
Right.
For things like our own primaries.
That's a good idea.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. I always for more voting, more people getting to vote, more types of voting, more specific types of voting, where we have more power. I always think
more
that's
democracy is always better, I feel like.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And like having people like Mad Voters is so important. So these other organizations that are all volunteer work, that are putting out what's going on at the State House, they help us so much. So there are other organizations that can help push the Democratic Party to be better. And I think Mad Voters is one of those. And I'm just so thankful for them. But there's lots of coalitions, there's lots of things out there, and they help push the Democrats to be better. Hopefully they're pushing Republicans too, but yeah. So yeah. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for being on. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Scott. Hey, I've missed you. We haven't done an episode in a while, so
I know.
I'm not calling you and you're doing drywall. Like, I get to see your face. That's nice.
It was nice. Hey, good to hear you while I'm working.
Yeah. Well, you're wonderful. Thanks for being my friend. Thank you, everybody. Please share this episode, like, subscribe. We're growing. We've got lots of plans. I met with Tim Peck today. We got a whole advertising plan we're going to be doing. So lots of new things coming up with Project Next that I'm excited about. And you all have a fantastic night.
All right.
Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.